Gypsy is a classic musical. It was actually created in the 1950s and based on real-life characters. And it's a really exciting and fascinating exploration into the lives of vaudeville performers and of one particular real-life family that had a very ambitious stage mom who was just absolutely dead set on her daughters becoming stars and pushed them to some pretty massive extremes in order to get them to stardom.
Gypsy is a very classic show. A lot of people know it, very familiar tunes you can hear. It's just a wonderful show that just shows things you don't really want to show, but it's important to show because it teaches a lesson. It's very emotional and it really tugs at your heartstrings for the daughters and what they go through and how they turn out when they are older, as you can see throughout their lives. Mama Rose lives through her daughters, and she wishes that when she was younger, she could have made it big. She could have been a star, but she started too late, and therefore she lives through her daughters.
One of the things that I think is really beneficial about studying this show is that it asks the actors to dive really deep into the psychology of the characters, and particularly with Madame Rose and with her daughter Louise, the journey that they go throughout the show is just very, very fascinating, and it requires a lot of authenticity from the actors and a lot of digging deep in order to find truthful characters.
My character, Rose, it's been very interesting It's been very emotional. It's been very hard to get into the mind of her. Not only is the acting very difficult to understand what she's saying and hidden meanings inside of what she's saying and trying to convey that and through what I'm saying, that's been really hard, but also vocally, it is just on. She is on it the whole time. She's belting her face off or she's softly singing to Herbie, and it's very, very difficult because it takes a toll on my voice.
It has been a very unique experience. Like, we did Guys and Dolls, which is like not as like kind of that kind of style of dance, but we had really like research and look into like what the vaudeville-esque routines and stuff were, and we had to do like a lot of research and really dive in to finding out how to make the vaudeville look happen with your dancing, and also for like stage managing, how do I help incorporate that with like lighting and all the other stuff.
The design of the set is based on the kind of classic look of vaudeville theaters that would have been around in the turn of the 20th century. And at the time, at the end of the 20s and the beginning of the 30s, when the show takes place, vaudeville is kind of dying. And one of the characters, the main character, Louise, ends up going into burlesque as kind of a last resort, seeking stardom. As vaudeville is dying, burlesque is sort of rising. So the set kind of shows the decay of vaudeville, and it's kind of been a fun thing to work on. And the kids have put a lot of great effort into the construction of the set, and also into the lighting and the sound and all of the other technical elements of the show. We've really been very intentional about the way we've been studying this piece, particularly the part of the story that deals with Louise going into burlesque and becoming a burlesque star. And that, of course, is sensitive material to have to process and stage with high schoolers. And we've had great luck with relating that part of the story and the ambitions of this family back to some of the contemporary issues that our students are dealing with, particularly with the push to be noticed on social media. And it's been interesting connecting their experience with that back to this story that maybe at another time may not have been quite as relatable to the students of our time. So it's been really interesting to explore that, and I think a really valuable educational experience for our students to look at that.